I welcome you all to this lecture session on tourism. Travel in modern times has been witness to several far-reaching changes. It has registered an exponential growth touching many places in the world that once remained isolated and unreachable. Today, travel has become complex as much as it has become faster and more comfortable. As for international travel, there are geographical, political and cultural barriers that need to be taken into account before one sets out of one's home country. The territorial sovereignty of each country that one travels through should be respected, and the regulations with regard to the entry, stay and departure thereof should be understood and followed as mandated in the laws of those countries. Any non-compliance or violation will not only create inconvenience to the traveler but also to the airline or the shipping company or the railways or the roadways that carries him or her to a country. In this session, we will be discussing international travel requirements classified under the following heads, namely ticket, passport, visa, travel insurance, health documents. Travel document and rules can be pretty tricky. What's more, they can change daily. The information in this module will help you to figure out which travel document you will need to enter the country you are visiting and to get back into the country where you started.
Ticket. A ticket is the basic document that a traveler needs to have before commencement of travel. It is a document issued by the transport provider which contains the complete travel plans showing the name of the traveler, places on the itinerary, mode of travel, date of journey, time and venue of departure of the carrier from the point of origin to the destination. If it is a one-way journey, and back to the point of origin if it is a round trip, fare paid for the journey, weight of baggage traveler can carry, liabilities of the carrier, etc. It also mentions all the conditions for carriage of passengers to the destination the traveler is traveling to. As for airline ticket, it is a document issued by an airline or any of its authorized travel agents, which confirms that a traveler has purchased a seat on a flight aboard an aircraft. This document is produced at the airport check-in counter to obtain a boarding pass, with which a traveler boards the aircraft bound for its destination. There are two types of airline tickets: the older style with flight coupons for each flight the passenger undertakes, now referred to as a paper ticket, and the now more common electronic ticket, usually referred to as an e-ticket. An electronic ticket or e-ticket is a digital ticket. It may be issued by an airline in road, urban or rail or any form of public transport, wherein all travel-related information like name of traveler, date of travel, flight number, time of departure, flight duration, free baggage allowance, reporting time at the airport, etc. are electronically stored, and the traveler is issued with an itinerary receipt that he should carry with him at all time while traveling. No matter what type of ticket a traveler is issued, he should thoroughly understand the conditions of the fare he has paid and conditions of carriage stipulated by the airline that has issued the ticket. Certain countries in the Middle East and even the United States have travel document requirements for departure. It may be noted that these requirements may be different from travel document requirements for entry into the destination country and for transit through a country. For instance, Saudi Arabia insists on an exit and re-entry visa for travelers departing from the country, without which they can neither leave the country nor return to it. US law requires all customers, regardless of citizenship, age or destination, to hold a secure document to depart the United States by air, one-way or round-trip itinerary. A secure document is a passport, US permanent resident card, refugee or stateless travel document, re-entry permit, Nexus card, US merchant marina card, military ID and emergency travel document issued by an embassy or consulate. Passport. Passport is an official document issued by the government of a country to its citizens and, varying from country to country, authorizing travel to foreign countries and authenticating the bearer's identity, citizenship, right to protection while abroad, and right to re-enter his or her native country. All passengers need a valid passport for international travel, regardless of the destination. But some countries require at least 6 months of validity remaining on the passport. So a traveler should check with the consulates of all the countries he is planning to visit prior to his departure, as he may be refused entry if he fails to comply with the regulations. People traveling anywhere overseas need a passport to board an international flight and to enter any country. Getting a passport is just the first step of the procedure for going abroad. After a traveler is issued a passport by the authorities, he should carefully inspect it. If there are some questionable points or errors, he should immediately ask the related staff for the application of correction. Passports must be in good condition. Airlines may not accept passengers for international travel and may deny boarding if a passport is damaged beyond normal wear and tear and/or there is evidence of intentional or material alterations or mutilations. Examples of conditions of passports that may result in denied boarding include passports with significant tears, holes or stains, as well as any changes, obliterations or alterations, or any other damage which affects the authenticity of the passport and/or the identification of the holder, such as the name, date of birth, citizenship, and document number. For example, a passport with faded data, missing or severely torn, cut, or chewed pages or cover. Missing picture which can be removed from under the laminate, or one which requires tape or staples to hold it together, or which has been substantially damaged by liquids, chemicals, or fire, may result in denied boarding. To ensure their travel plans are not interrupted, it is important for a traveler to keep his passport in good condition before he leaves. Passport contents. As for content, all passports carry the national emblem, the full name of the country, and the type imprinted on the passport cover, while the details for use of the passport are usually imprinted on the back cover. On the inside front cover are generally printed the words requesting the correlated military or administrative departments of the target country for some necessary convenience and assistance to the person who is carrying the passport. Passport extensions for expired passports are allowed in all countries, so all passports contain special pages for extension and remarks. To facilitate countries to issue visas, many additional blank pages are included within the passport, each page imprinted with the word visa. The texts printed on passports are primarily in the native language of the issuer, but the same texts in English are also included by most countries. Types of passport. At present, the passports issued by majority of countries in the world are generally divided into three types: diplomatic, service, official, and regular passports. Some countries only issue one type, like UK. Some countries only issue two of them, like India, Pakistan, and so on. But there are also some countries which issue 4 or 5 types, like US, France, and so on. Diplomatic passport. Those who possess diplomatic status are issued a diplomatic passport, like the diplomat, consul, and official, as well as the head of state, government officials, and delegation members of the parliament or government who are going abroad for national affairs or activities. According to the International Convention, the spouse and the children of the above personnel generally are also issued diplomatic passports. Service official passport. It is issued for government servants of a country. Besides, all countries will issue this kind of passport to the staff who work for embassies or consulates abroad, but have no diplomatic status, along with their spouse and the grown-up children. Regular passport. It is issued to all other citizens for different reasons, line of duty or private affair. For going abroad, the regular passport may have different types in different countries. Period of validity. A passport is not a permanent credential, but a document with a limited period of validity. It is the legal proof during the period of validity only, which is also known as the effective passport. Otherwise, it is invalid and is without legal status. Periods of validity of a passport issued by different countries is inconsistent and respectively is 1, 2, 3 and 5 years, though some countries' passports may be valid for 10 years. Generally speaking, a period of validity in excess of 6 months is required by countries for visa issue. If passport's period of validity is insufficient or less than 6 months, a traveler will have to go to his passport issuing department to apply for extension or renewal. Only then he can go to embassies and consulates to apply for a visa. Effective area. The effective area is one of the important passport contents. Passports in some countries have imprinted the restrictions like, this passport is effective towards XX country name, or citizen who holds the passport is not allowed to go to XX country name and XX area name. What to do if your passport is lost? If a traveler loses his passport before he goes abroad, he should immediately report the case to the security authorities and the office which issued the passport. Provide a detailed statement of the time and the place of its loss, and also state the basic information on the passport like the name, gender, date of birth, passport number, and so on. He may have to go to his local newspaper to insert an advertisement reporting the loss of the passport with all the details like the name and passport number, place and date of issue, etc. If the passport is lost abroad, he should quickly report the case to the local public security agencies and complete the detailed and essential registration procedure. Simultaneously, he should go to his country's nearest embassy or consulate as soon as possible to complete the registration procedure of the loss report and then apply for a passport reissue. In order to prevent the loss of passport, it is advisable to photocopy the whole content on first page of the passport and preserve it. All these preparations will come in handy if the passport is lost. Visa. A visa is a form of permission for a non-citizen to travel to, enter, transit, or remain in a particular country. However, a visa does not guarantee entry, which remains the right of the immigration officials of the country concerned. The term visa is an abbreviation of a Latin phrase, carta visa, which means the document has been seen. These documents take a number of forms, ranging from tourist to immigration visas, and each type has its own application process. For example, someone who wants to enter a country to do business would need to apply for a business visa, while someone who plans to relocate to a country would apply for an immigration visa that would allow him to enter the country and stay there for a certain period of time while pursuing citizenship or residency permits. Visas may be stamped or glued directly into a passport for convenience, or they may be issued separately in the form of documents which must be carefully protected to ensure that they are not lost or stolen. Some nations require everyone who enters to get a visa, while others have what are known as reciprocal agreements with certain nations which waive such requirements. It is important to research visa requirements before traveling internationally, as in some cases, travelers must apply before they attempt to cross a border. Some countries may ask visitors to present return tickets and evidence of means availability of funds to cover their intended stay. Some countries may refuse entry to visitors who do not comply with their requirements regarding general appearance and clothing. Electronic Travel Authority (ETA). The ETA is a visa that is stored electronically rather than as a stamp or label in a passport. It will show up as part of your passport record when customs officials check your passport details. A traveler should have his passport details ready when making his ETA application. Generally, you can be issued a short-term tourist or business ETA if you hold an ETA-eligible passport. You don't intend to work in Australia. You don't intend to stay in Australia for more than 3 months, and you are in good health and have no criminal convictions. After obtaining a visa from a destination country, it must be remembered that the passport is active for that country and holds a high value. Therefore, it is of utmost importance that the passport with a valid visa stamp on it should be safely kept by the traveler. Some international criminal syndicates and pickpockets specialize in stealing the passport and consider it more valuable than currency. They will trade the passport for money, use it for some other illegal activities with the passport as a shield. Therefore, passport must be kept safe under lock and key, especially after a traveler passes through the customs inspection. While traveling, Passport should not be carelessly put into outside pockets or the pouches in the baggage. It is much safer to put it into an inside pocket, which allows ready access for any eventuality you may encounter where it is required. When you obtain a visa, you should have an international prophylactic inoculation certificate. After purchasing the air ticket to your destination country and doing some pre-trip preparatory work, you can proceed with your journey abroad. A passport with 2 opposing blank visa pages and validity of at least 6 months is required from the day when you submit the visa application before you visit China. Each passenger traveling across any international boundary is solely responsible for obtaining all necessary travel documents, including any required visas, and for complying with the laws of each country flown from, the departure country, through any transit country, and into the destination country, as stated in Rule 19 of the Contract of Carriage. Irregularities with regard to the passport or visa can result in deportation of the passenger by the immigration authorities in the destination country, and deportation expenses are to be borne by the airline that brought in the traveler without proper verification of the documents at the point of origin. Passport, visa and health requirements for entry into destination countries and for transit through a country are provided by the International Air Transport Association (IATA) on its website, which must be verified before travel. For entry into the United States, additional information may be found on the U.S. Customs and Border Protection website. Travel insurance. There was a time travel insurance were afraid to bring up the subject of travel insurance for fear of losing the overall deal. It was considered a negative. But today, the scenario is different. Whether it's your trip, your possessions, your baggage, or your health, everything is covered by travel insurance, which has become an essential component of travel. And if you don't buy travel insurance of the right kind, there is every chance of your trip getting ruined. According to the U.S. Travel Insurance Association, about 30% of Americans purchase travel insurance, an increase from 10% before 9/11. The top 3 reasons are peace of mind, protection against the unexpected, and anxieties about the money spent on travel arrangements. Interestingly, a majority of those who don't buy travel insurance are familiar with flight and trip cancellation insurance. However, many people are unaware of travel health insurance, baggage coverage, and medical evacuation insurance. Even among travel insurance buyers, only 50% were aware of medical evacuation insurance. Reasons to buy travel insurance: flight cancellation, passport and money are stolen, and you need emergency cash and a new passport. You're involved in an accident and adequate medical treatment is not available. You need medical evacuation. You need to cancel your trip due to illness. Your cruise line, airline, or tour operator goes bankrupt. You need your own non-refundable expenses covered and to get to your destination. You have a medical emergency in a foreign country. A terrorist incident occurs in the city where you're planning to visit and you want to cancel your trip. Some natural calamity forces you to evacuate your resort, hotel, or cruise liner. Health documents. More than 900 million international journeys are undertaken every year. Global travel on this scale exposes many people to a range of health risks. Many of these risks can be minimized by precautions taken before, during, and after travel. Before traveling to many tropical or subtropical destinations, immunizations and other precautionary measures are advisable or even required. Often, these measures must be taken a certain length of time prior to your departure. A traveler should get reliable information about the area he will be visiting 4 to 6 weeks before the commencement of his travel. It must be remembered that the carrier cannot accept responsibility for the consequences of any irregularity. Authentic information on health document requirements can be had from the websites of WHO, World Health Organization, and IATA.
Conclusion. Travel involves a great deal of time, money, energy, and resources. It demands meticulous planning to ensure it proceeds as scheduled without causing any inconvenience to the traveler or the various service providers involved. Being aware of travel requirements is one of the factors that makes travel truly enjoyable. We hope this module has effectively highlighted the importance of travel documentation and other requirements. With that, we conclude this lecture session. Thank you.